Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm Oliver Phil. Today I'm going to do a quick video on a couple battery cables I need to make for a friend of mine who just finished overhauling an Oliver 1855. I've done some other videos on a couple different projects that he has done, and that Oliver, we went through the 3-speed and a couple other things on it, so he's got it running now, but we're going to make some battery cables for him real quick. Okay, so he asked to make two 5-foot cables in 2/0. So I got 2/0 cable already cut to 5 foot. I just stripped the ends after measuring how far in they need to go. So one is going to be positive, one will be negative. So I got a positive 2/0 for one end. The other end is going to be a 3/8 Magnalug 2/0, and I use all black battery cable, and then I just phase the ends with the corresponding color. So it'll get red heat shrink on each end for the positive cable, and then black heat shrink on each end for the negative cable. So I usually use, on larger cable, I usually use my hose crimping machine. And so here's what we'll do here. Strip the end, which you can measure on the gauge here. Slide over the fitting. And there's definitely more than one way to do this. I have cable crimpers, which I might show those in this video. I don't know, maybe not. Show you what this kind of looks like. Let's see, so put this in here. And we'll crimp it. All right, if a lot of you guys saw my hydraulic hose video, you know that I use this machine a lot. So there we got a nice, even, all the way around crimp. It's not going to come off. Then we're doing the positive now, so I'll slide some red heat shrink over it. Then you can use a heat gun or a torch. I got the convenient torch at the moment. Keep my distance. Don't want to burn it. You guys can see this. I always keep it moving. Don't want to burn it. Again, you can use a heat gun. I've done it multiple times, just depends on how I'm feeling in that moment. Easy there. About to take you guys with me. Okay, so we got her shrunk on there. So that's one end with the Magnalug. So let's see, do the other end now. Sometimes my heat shrink, I verify if it'll fit over the lug, which in this case it will. Otherwise, you want to make sure you get the heat shrink on before you do any crimping. So there's the positive. So you want to make sure you get your, this says 2/0 and a P for positive. All right, that looks like it'll fit all right. So I'll bring this up through. Make sure I get all the strands in there. Put it down here. Slide her in. and give her a crimp. Sorry, the heater just shut off. That might help. All right. So we bring it around, and now we have a nice crimp, and that should work just fine. Again, it's nice and tight. Not going to have any problems there. Then I slide this heat shrink over and get it melted. Try to do it right at the seam because I'm trying to cover where the wire meets and the fitting is on. And there are a lot of options. I do offer the covers if somebody wants the covers for each fitting. And that would look like a cover like this. I have them in red and black, but it's already under a cover, so he said it wasn't needed. So there you have it. There is a positive 5-foot long 2-aught battery cable ready to go on. Let me get the negative going. All right, so here I got another 5-foot 2-aught cable. Ends are already stripped. So I will put my cullets back in here, get my plate ready, slide this through, make sure all the strands are in there and that she's down all the way. Crimp it. I'll show you guys some other forms of crimpers that I have. So again, I always look at it, check it. So we'll run the negative heat shrink on. Go ahead and crimp this end here. If it's in the field, I'm using crimpers. I don't have this machine out in the field on my truck. Got to make sure I get all the strands in there. I had one kick out on me there. There we go. And I got everything in. Slide it in. Let her rip. Alrighty. Nice good crimp there. See, in this case, that heat shrink fits over it. So I'll get that heated up, and that'll take care of the cables for him. But real quick, let me show you a couple different options. So another option I got here. So here is a made in Germany pair of crimpers that I'll use. Up here at the top, these will go all the way to 1-aught. you can kind of see the shape that they do. You just push in here. So when you open them up, see if I can do this one-handed. You'll push in, and these spin to the next size. And tell you. And then also these, when crimped, see if I can see it. Right there on the inside, it'll leave an impression on what you crimped. So 1/0 is going to leave a 1/0 impression in the crimp. So these will go up to 1/0 and down to, see if I can do this here. Looks like 2 gauge. So those are a good pair of crimpers. And then I have a large set. Now this I would put in the vise right here and use one-handed. These are a burned, B-U-R-N-D, but they do all the way up to, so you would adjust them here. You got a nut on top, and that increases this gap. And these will go all the way up to 4/0. So number 8 up to 4/0. So that's another good pair of pliers to have, but I prefer to use the crimper. So I've also put solder pellets in here, or even solder, and then heated that up in a vise and dropped the cable in. That's fine too. They sell solder pellets. There's actually specific cable ends that are for solder. These are for crimp, where they tell you 1 crimp, 2nd crimp, 1st crimp, 2nd crimp. So there's all kinds. There's even copper. You got copper. Different size holes on the ends of the magna lugs. So a lot of options. Many 90-degree fittings. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need, they pretty much make it. So just do a short little video of 2 battery cables I needed to make. So I appreciate you watching. If you haven't seen that before, I hope you find that somewhat interesting. A lot of people just take their cables in and have them made, and they don't really see what they're doing. So there's a little bit of how I do it. So if you can like and subscribe, leave a comment, I appreciate it. I've seen a lot of people commenting, a lot of people liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.